Hold on, let me turn this off. There. That might, wait, no, we want that. We want that. Let's turn that off. There we go. We want to make sure the audio actually works. So, I did want to turn that off. But I could turn it on when things are better. Just can't do it right now. But I did want to look at a few things and figured if I'm looking at them, we can all look at them, can't we? Sure, of course we can. All right, so what do we got? Want to pull this up here. Let me swap over to price action. I want to see what's been moving the last couple of days because I know we got a whole bunch. What do we have here? Let's put in 3-day. Let's get off the watch list. Let's see what's cruising. See if any plays can be made. If so, I want to take a look. Get the watch list up. Let's see what's trending on the daily. Up, ARC, BNB, Hot, LTC, Theta, both pairs, BTC and ETH. Big moves. Big moves on Hot. Hot, 3-day, 24 up. Sitting right now at the 50. That's good. Hot BTC. Now Hot BTC, I'd rather trade the Ethereum pair. So we're gonna have to look for that real quick and see if that's similar. So let me sort this out by coin pair, and then we'll pull that up real quick. See what we got going on. If it's similar enough, then I'm okay with it. But if not, the BTC pairing's tough because the sats are so low. It's really hard to, move too much in there. So we got the ETH pair, and it's pretty different. It's very different. Still got 20 up. Already retraced 56. Not as heavy on the trend though. See how these are dark green. Dark green's good. Light green. This is the 4-buy that I like talking about here. It looks like they just opened up a tether pairing for Hot. Yeah, that's got to be new. Let's pull up the ETH pair and let's see what we see. Let's take a look at Hot ETH. This is the ARC trade we were playing around with earlier. All right, so Hot ETH on Binance. Let's pull this up. Oof. Okay, well, that's Bitfinex. Hold on a second. Hot ETH. Binance. That's the one we want. All right. So we've already scoped this one out for a possible ABCD. That's what you see all the way up there as far as targets are concerned. So this was a play we were looking at actually not too long ago because we drew this up. January 28th, we had this high. We had the retrace down to 382. We found support on the 5. So it's not great. Let's see, you had one big new, kind of sideways, up again, another retrace, another good push up, another retrace, and then this was sort of your topped out area. So we could see with the drop down now, so you have your drop, and then you have your retrace, another drop, almost a double bottom, and then sideways. So there's a couple different ways to look at this. If we just look at the accumulation period that we're having right now, and get a better idea on what's happening as far as price action is concerned. So we can see the bottom's holding, so that's actually pretty good, and we got a pretty steep decline here. So price is crushing itself, right? So it's kind of getting into that little spinning top zone. So we could do something along the lines of a triangle. So it'd be something similar to this. A little bit coming up like that, and then we'll clean this up in just a minute, something like that. All right, so if the bottoms were locked in a little tighter, which we could probably get away with doing something similar to that, take a look. Yeah, so this is okay, right? This is still, more or less, this is valid. So if we continue with this, we'd be looking at a descending triangle within the terms of a local downtrend. So we could be seeing potential continuation on the downside. RSI is not giving us much, sort of hanging out in that 50 zone. We could see, at least from history, Let's throw one of these guys on here and let's mark that out. Whoa, not that guy. We don't, yeah, we didn't want that guy. We want this guy. So let's get the horizontal out here and let's take a look at our 50 line. We can get a better idea on if we've been using it in the past. Then we can use it again, possibly. Let's just throw the 50 up. Okay. So we could see some reaction to the 50. A little bit of bounce off there. We have used it in the past. We've used it right here. Right, we flipped it over. Over here again, hesitation, further downside. Little resistance. Came back for support. Smashed through, smashed through. So it's not terrific. We're going to stay away. Well, I'm going to stay away from this one for now. I want this to play out before I do anything. So we'll let that one sit. If we go back, let's see. Let's go back to peak gains. Let's see what the big movers are for. What are we at here? For the 3-day period. Mod BTC, we already know about that. ARC BTC, we just took a look at that, or at least kind of took a look at that. DLT, I brought this up earlier. Wasn't overly impressed with it, but you know whatever. We'll take another look. DLT ETH, sure. Let's get that going there. Let me pop this on over here. And I had somebody, I really feel bad. I had someone on Stream Me. They were all alone over there earlier today. So if you're back, I know you had a question before. Let's see. Pharaoh Howen? What? Litecoin 31. Bitcoin at 33, hold or sell. So let me know if you're back. You come back. I want to definitely make sure I can try to answer your question for you. Can you please review Neo? Yeah, why not? Absolutely. We'll take a look at Neo. Let's just take a look at this real quick because we just pulled the chart up, see what we got going on here. Oh yeah, okay. This is DLT ETH. So yeah, I'm not doing much with this until I want to see us break this trend line. We come back up over, retest, and then we'll have a better idea on what's going on with that. You want Neo BTC? I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not really good with names. Just let me know if you want Neo BTC or Neo ETH or Neo USDT. I would like to see the USDT real quick because I want to see where we're at with that. Yeah, all right, so that's good. We're still looking at this level right here, at least on the USDT pair. This is going to be a bit of a struggle. When we do come through, it's going to have to be somewhat volatile. We're going to want to actually push through that with good volume. Let's get the volume back on the chart, actually. I had to take it off for a little bit. Okay, there we go. This is good. Okay, this is real good. We like to see 3 consistent large volume candles. That's good for momentum. Momentum's definitely with the bulls on this for now, at least in this pairing. Creeping up on 70, not quite there yet, and got plenty of room to go. See, we got lower, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, we got, yeah, higher lows, higher highs, so no divergence there. Everything's straight as far as that's concerned. Let's put that back the way it was because things have moved. All right, there we go. All right, let me see. Well, we're going to go with, unless I hear back, we'll stick with this chart. So Neo. Let's take a look at the bigger picture here for Neo. Our good old buddy Neo. What do we got here? So long-term channel. Long-term downtrend channel. Let me just get rid of these. You can always put new ones up, right? Right. All right, long-term downtrend channel, holding tight on the weekly until 2 weeks ago, broke out, closed out of it. We wanted to see a retest of that channel. So we would need some selling to come in order to push this down. I know it sounds counterproductive, right? But to actually get that retest would be nice to get it over with now, then to have a nice run up and then have it slam all the way back down. So I would prefer we get that out of the way. Not to say that we will, but it would be nice. So let's see. Yeah, that was the original buy target based off of a retest. Right? So what do we got? We got an 8, 1, 6, 2. This isn't a bad move right here. Let's measure that out. We go from the swing low at the bottom right here, and we'll bring that up to that top. 27% on the upside. Let's measure that retracement, or the pullback, I should say. So we line this up. Let's get that right to the top. Okay. Looks like it came down, found support on the 382. Just about tapped the 5, but not so much. Now on the daily, all right, here's the interesting part. On the daily, we did come back, and we did test it. How about that? That's nice. All right, well, I feel a lot better about that. Okay, so then we can start looking at this thing. Let's see. Let's get a trend going here. Get an idea of what we're looking at, what we could be looking at. Forgive the lag, if you don't mind. Working through some things here. All right. Let's see what we got. Channel wise, this is going to be okay. Yeah, more like that. Okay. This is fine for now. All right, so we got a little bit of a channel here. That's good. I'm going to take this, make it green, because that's our support. Something like that. All right. So with the first retrace, right, the first pull down about 382 area, that's this guy right here. We could look for some targets off that move. We'll just do this, a little flip, a Ruski, and then we'll come over here and do that. Drop that down. So if we're looking at the 1618, yeah, okay, so that's good. 1618 already hit. Ended up finding resistance on it. Imagine another pullback here, and then 2618 would be the next target, and then 36 and 423. So if you measure just that one move, right, the new move, right, this low, or we can go this low, to this high, then we get an idea on what kind of pullback we might be looking at currently, at least for this this candle. Okay, so we'll just swing that back around, no big deal, and then we'll do this. Just drag it over and get an idea. So if this is our current move, and this is what we're looking at, then last retrace was a 382, which we're almost right there. Right now, a deeper retrace being the 5 or the 618. Now, do remember, you know, previous market highs, right? Structure high is this guy right here, which lines up perfectly with the 5. So that would be my target for two reasons. One, it's a good retrace. It's a healthy retrace. Two, it's perfectly on our trend line channel. And three, it's previous structure high. See how that works? So this guy, trend line, 5. It's all confluence. But that would take, let's see, that would take another day or two of trading. Given the candle size we've seen, average size, not so big, 0.71, 1.18, 0.4, 0.72 on the smaller candles. Larger candles looking at 4, 2.5, 2.4, 6, and a 4.2. I mean, we get one of these size candles coming in here on the downside. Yeah, you could even have it on this candle right here on the downside. So if that were to play out, you'd be looking at the 618. But this is good right here. I mean, that's a nice spot. Come down, lines up with the 5. 5's cool, and then I would be going long from there. I like this volume a lot. Even though the RSI is clipping towards 70, it didn't breach it. And on top of just not breaching it, it's fine. It's got plenty of room to turn around and do some more things. I'd like to see, actually, I'd like to throw up some long-term moving averages here. See what we got. See what we're looking at. Like a 200 EMA or something would be nice to sort of see what we're scoping out. All right, so the way I do my EMAs and MAs, I do them separately. My color pattern is blue, orange, green, brown, slate white, red, yellow. And that's 8, 13, 21, 55, 100, 200, 500, 700. So let me see what I'm on right now as far as EMA. Whoa, why does this look different? This looks, what do we get, like an upgrade or something? This is weird. Right, all right, so right now I have EMAs on, and I want to look for the 200 EMA. That is my white. I'm not seeing it. I see my slate. Do not see my white. Where are you at? Where are you at? There you are. All right, so we got plenty of room. So under the 200, under the 200 EMA on the daily chart, you know, definitely still bearish. Of course, I mean, we are in a monster downtrend. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. We are for sure in a downtrend. This right here is good push out of a ranged area. So this buying, even though it's a large ugly portion, is still a bit of a range. So to get out of there is very nice, right? We finally traded out. Now we did it right here as well, okay? But we lost it. All right, but that's also the 55 at that point is what was the resistance, smashed it back down. 55 is now on our side. So the 55 is good. The only thing holding us back right now is the 100, right? So the 100 EMA is going to be resistance, where the 8, 13, 21, 55 are all underneath, right? So they're all lending their hand in support. So this is looking okay. I hope that helped. Oh, Gems! Can you please take a look at the engine? Yeah, it was that's an Enigma, right? Yeah, what Gems, what do you want? BTC or ETH? ENJ. ENJ. Well, let's see. Let's look at BTC first until I hear back, and then we'll take it from there. Let's get this off for now. Let's pull that back up. Look at that move. Solid 7 up. Let's see. We'll wait till Gems gets back to us before we get too crazy on here. But let's at least scope it out just a little bit. Let's pull up that weekly chart. Let's get an idea of what this thing's been doing. Creep show. Creep. Yeah, 1, 2. Okay, so we got a higher high. We got a higher low, higher low, higher low. But man, this is that's a slight trend. Nothing too crazy. But we can throw at least long term horizontals. That seems to line up perfectly. Pretty good right here. We got a low we could take care of down here in that ballpark. So that's good. Gives us a little bit of a channel that we've sort of been ping-ponging down. Nothing too crazy. Definitely have a downtrend line we could throw over here. Something similar to this. Ballpark. I'm going to cancel out those wicks, so don't get too angry about it. But that to me makes more sense than using the wicks in this situation. All right, and then I would do something like that. And yeah, we could throw this other one up here. Sure. Something similar to that. And that. Okay. So, This is okay if that's what we're looking at. This would be somewhat of a symmetrical triangle, trying to pick itself up from just this area right here. This trading is just the big down, right? So the big downside, no big deal. We're inside of this channel, bit of a ping pong, so support 2 times down at the bottom, 2 times up top. Got a bit of an ABCD here, so that's nice to see. At least to the patterns. All right, A, B, C, D. Okay, so that's a decent pattern there. That's good. What else we got? We got a low, high. Yep, that's good. Let's get the RSI back up. Not much doing there. Okay, now as far as these moves, so this move right here, not bad at all actually. If we go from the bottom of the move to the top, let's see, so 122%, and we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 days, but how much of that did we give back, right? That's the question. So did it find support? Yes, right here. What is that? Is that the 786? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yep. All right. So for some of these coins, we do see support all the way down at the 786. It's a deep retrace, but it's support nonetheless. So trading pushed up 4 days, went up 100 and something percent. Worked its way back down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days it took. It did have temporary support on the 618, but lost it. Ended up wicking down to the 786. That's where it found its reversal pivot point, and now we're pushing up. So not bad, actually. This buying right here has me a little bit nervous. It's a large wick towards what could be the end of a little bit of an uptrend, but we're going to play this out anyway and see what we got going on. So let's take our profit targets. Let's switch these around. So we're playing the retrace here. Alright, so we're pushing this back up, and if we're looking for the 1618, we're way up here. Okay, and we would be looking at, yeah. So getting near that that pushback, right? So that's the retrace from the downside. So if we were to measure this one out here, so you had your all-time high, then you had your drop. So you want to see what this ends up being, because that's important. Oh, that didn't work out so well. Let's fix that. Yeah, there we go. All right, so perfectly on the 382. All right, you see that? So your all-time high, right? You had your big push down, right? And your big pullback ended up being right on the 382. This is the mark you're looking for. So that 382, then we sort of do something like this, and then we get an idea of what were previous levels that we were looking at, right? So the 1618 being down this way, so there was room to go down. We almost hit it, didn't quite make it. So that's a good sign, finding support prior to it, finding support on a previous swing, and then rounding out the bottom. So this is all good. Yeah, gems. Let's see, what do you got in your BTC? Okay, cool. All right, so we picked the right chart. It could have went either way. Yeah, so gems, I hope you caught that. This is a symmetrical triangle coming down, you know, of course, on the downtrend, like everything else. But you've entered this channel. We've done a little ping-ponging. But inside of that channel, you have started to make higher lows. You had this huge 120-something% increase in 4 days with the 786 pullback, right? So on the 786 pullback, now you started to trend back the other way. These would be my targets. First, you got to get over the 1, and the 1 is also this support line right here. All right, so the level that you closed at on the daily, on the weekly chart, right, is pretty significant. So to hold that level, right, and push it back up is the reason why we put that horizontal there. Let's zoom into the 1 to get a little bit more clear idea on what we're doing here. So that wasn't 4 days, that was 4 weeks. Jeez, what is wrong with me? All right, so this is at least zoomed in now on the daily, so this looks a little bit more reasonable. So that being said, I'm not changing much here. You still found support at the same spot. That's not going to change. Let's take it from the down and let's put this back up top here. Just like so. Yeah. It's kind of like that. Okay, it's close. So again, the 786, that's the support zone, right? So you can see we fell down. We ended up finding support at the 5 for a little bit. Ping pong back and forth with the 382. Lost it. Dropped down to the 618. 618 held for a few days. Lost it. Came down to 786. But now you have a pivot, right? So now you got a turnaround. Back to the 618. 618 to the 5. 5 all the way up to the 382. Back down to the 5. So again, the profit targets don't really change all that much. We're still looking at 1. First stop, we want to get back to the top here. Do have to break through this level, right? First off, so we have to get through that big aqua line, right? That's the weekly resistance that I think is an important level. It's also, just about getting back to 1. So I'd be okay with everything that we see here. If you did enter this trade, around that 236 is a good spot. You have accumulation right in this zone, so we could be stuck in this area. Let's see, right about here. Could be stuck in this general vicinity, which is sort of spanning the gap between the 5 and the 382, which is right where we are right now. There's a potential chance to be stuck in there for a little while, up to a week or so, and unless we see some sort of increase in volume here. RSI is headed up that way, and it's actually very sharp, so it's a very sharp slope. So it's good. So overall, yeah, I'm not mad at it. You could do things with this. There's a life to live. All right, so we looked at DLT. We talked about ARC. We skipped over mod, we looked at mod the other day. I'm going to skip over sub again as well, because these are all the D-list coins, right? Mod, I believe ARC. I'm not sure about DLT, but sub and cloak for sure. Those are all D-listers. EOS USDT. Let's pull that up. So EOS was a good rip earlier. Ended up taking profits off of that before. Now we're looking a lot better as far as breaking out of that channel, so that's pretty good. But this was a good trade, and it still is a good trade. Now look at that RSI on the daily. We're at 77. Now remember, the scale goes to 100. Well, scale goes infinite, but we like to say that it goes to 100. So something like that. So there's still tons of room over here, right? And we have seen coins sit in overbought and oversold for quite a long time. This is a daily chart. You're talking 17th. What is this? This is November 16th to December 16th, 17th. So for a month, the coin stayed in oversold. So you could stay in overbought for a month. It's fine. All right. But overall, EOS chart does look pretty healthy. This is a good trend. Big rising wedge here. Volume worked its way down right into this pivot point right here, and it's been pretty solid ever since. Above average. Last 2 days have been real good for EOS. So this is something to keep your eye on. Now, this is a tether pair. This isn't paired against BTC and ETH, not on this chart. So holding up that value against Tether is good, especially with what's going on with BTC and ETH in the last 4 or 5 hours. They've been dropping pretty hard. So 20% move right here just from 2 days ago. Now this is a shooting star. That candle right there, that's usually an indication of reversal. Or at least, you know, if it's at the top of an uptrend, usually you can expect to see a little bit of a downside. Now, I would not be surprised at all if we did see a bit of a retrace here, trying to find something that makes the most sense. Let me pull this up and say for the overall move, right, from this low, a retrace down to the 382 is respectable. It'd be about 317. The 5 is reasonable as well. That would also be previous highs. So we'd be looking at this zone right here as an area of interest. Let's mark this up. Something like that. Okay, so that horizontal line we see here, that's going to be previous support resistance. So right here, all those tops that got knocked down, top that got knocked down, another top that got knocked down. So we can see it's a level that have been resistance for quite a while. We finally broke it. We'd like to come back and test it. That would be ideal, but we have this to contend with right here. So you break out of a pattern, you like to come back and retest the pattern. You don't want to come back, fail the pattern just to test a horizontal, but that horizontal was an important level. Okay, so at that point, not sure what to do. You have place buy orders down here, previous structure high, which is also previous support resistance flip to support untested, or think if it is going to come down, at least in the interim, then you could be looking at trading that breakout play. Let's check out something. Let's zoom in a little bit on the 4. Let's see what's actually going on here. Alright, so you had a good pop, came down. That's a flat top. That's kind of angled down a little bit. I mean, you could do this if you wanted to. This might be a little exaggerated. Something like that. Ooh, that didn't work out. Not at all. There we go. Something like that. So if you did something like that, then yeah, you would have yourself a bull flag. And this would be the pull right here. Bang. Bang. Alright, so flag, pull, pull, flag. Easy peasy. Come back. That yellow line is just a line I drew on top of what's already there for the rising wedge. So if that's the case, then this would be a good play. But again, if it does come all the way down here. So what I would do, I would watch this. You know, there's no reason to play this, right? Unless you're very aggressive. So I would watch it. If you see a reaction on the breakout, right, then the area to enter would be confirmation of breakout, which would be above this line. All right, that's the responsible way to enter that trade. If, however, it does come and it fails, and this is the next target area, well, then you're okay. Buy orders in, right? Long support. Go long on support. Try to maintain this trend, this new local trend, which is just overall a good idea, period. And then you're back in this previous high, previous structure high. So that's a good zone, good confluence on that. So that would be a buy target. So to recap, it looks like EOS still has more to go. Let's get that out of the way right now. It doesn't look like EOS is slowing down anytime soon, at least not in any form of dramatic way, nothing like this right here. Okay, so that being said, coming out of pattern, I would wait to see a reaction on the pattern. If there's no reaction and it comes down, then I would have buy orders set at that horizontal support resistance. So somewhere in the 2.9 on tether range would be sufficient for me. From that, you have confluence from previous structure high. You have new local trend, so that's good, and historical support resistance. If, however, it does find a reaction, then I would be playing the breakout here. Okay, not the breakout, but the confirmation of retesting and then getting over that new high. That would be the swing trade. Right? You're very welcome, Gems. Anytime. Anytime. Alright, let me double check this. Pharaoh. Yeah, I didn't see Pharaoh on there. Alright, so Pharaoh is good. And we're good over there too. Okay. Very good. Sorry. Just had to check on a few things there. Let's see what else we got going on. Cloak. Alright, so we took a look at Sis ETH. 35.58, 24.14. So trend is showing us, long-term trend is showing us 4 to daily sideways bearish, creeping up 15.30, and the hourly slightly bullish with the 5 minutes slightly down. We have the BTC pair right underneath it showing far more bullish activity, although still sideways, but nonetheless, that's not bad. Trading volume is less by a significant amount. And this is down to the 6.8. Well, that's down to the 5.8. So, got room here for 618 retrace. You've already lost the 618 here, so your next target is 786. So let me pull up the ETH chart. Let's see what we got. Sis ETH. All right. Wow. Wow. What are we looking at? That's one hell of a 4-hour candle. 17% realized. What was the peak on this puppy? 36% in a 4-hour candle. Okay. Let's throw the daily up. See what kind of history we got on this coin. Yikes. Look at this candle. What? Very interesting. So after that candle was made, you lost not only 100%, but if you grab that from the move, 88% down. Oof, that was brutal. It's brutal. It's one hell of a fat finger, though. If it is a fat finger, right? You look at these coins, you try to find, you know, consistent trading. Like, this is all consistent trading. See how tight all the candles and the wicks are to each other? As opposed to seeing a lot of these. Right? That's how you spot the pump and dump coins. You see a lot of, you know, like a huge pump and then a dump. Like, I get it. This is also the same thing. But, I mean, you're seeing this like every few candles. All right, so make a long story short here on Sis Ethereum. Obviously, we have some levels we can place. This, for starters, is a good place. We could see 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple bottom. Interesting. So somebody really likes 29,637, and they really don't want it to trade anywhere but that. So we got that to contend with. We have another level here. This was the down support line before that big giant candle. It was also resistance throughout this whole zone here. Somewhat support in this zone. Resistance right here. Resistance again. And a little bit of resistance here. Okay, so at least we have a little bit of a channel we can start playing around with. Let's see what we got. This quadruple bottom is funny. We didn't quite hit it here. We didn't quite hit it there. So I guess, you know, I guess it's okay. Now, this big dramatic move, there's not a whole lot we could do about this. I guess, I mean, if you wanted to, you could even call that a head and shoulders. I don't know. That might be pushing it. Let's see what we got. I mean, this is like, it's a little ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Yeah. Okay. That's just not gonna happen. Come on, mouse. Oh, all right. Mouse don't want to work. All right. Well, anyway, let's get a little bit closer here. So we came up out of the channel, rode the channel, came back down, found the bottom of the channel. So for me, no matter what this candle did, which is nice, it's 12% gain, that's good. I'm not doing anything. We are out of the channel. All right. I want to see something like this, and then I want to see something like this. Okay. And then when we've closed up above and came down and retested, then I'll take another look at this chart. But until then, this is just range bound. You get some of this stuff here, and now even that, you know, came up, closed above. That was good. And really come down and do that retest you're looking for, right? It just kind of, it drifted away from the channel and then came back down to the channel. Over here it came up. Now it had a nice retest but failed it. So you would have never gotten in the trade. Failed it, back into the channel. Came back up, flipped, support to resistance again. Came back down, found support at the bottom. You know, so it's the same deal. This one here, bang, you know, didn't really do much. Just kind of rode it on top. Now I'm looking for price action to come up, maybe even pop through this previous high. I'll go down to the body. Go down to the body. We'll do that. That's cool. I'm cool with that. But I want to see this. See some kind of retrace. I would like to see this so that we can clearly say, at least for now, that we found support on that old channel. Found support, so breakout play of the channel, and then look for further upside. Okay, what do we got? Manthos Colaros. I love the name. Message retracted. Jeez. Please change your screen from RSI to your chart? What do you mean? Please change your screen from RSI to your chart. I don't know. I'm not following you on that. I got RSI down here. Every now and then I'll pop it up. So we take a closer look at the breach. Breach on 7. This is a default level, so 70, 30, 14. Nothing crazy here. But yeah, I don't keep it on all that long. So if you did see it on there, then well, it's not on there now. So you're good.